Hi everyone, my name is Peter Aguero. I'm the physical therapist at the Hemophilia and Thrombosis Treatment Center at UCSD. In today's video, I'm here to talk to you all about ergonomics while working in the house. During this shelter in place, some of us might be working from home and others might be taking some time off, but regardless, most of us are spending more time at home than we normally do. As a result, we're probably sitting for longer than we normally do, myself included. I know I find myself sitting on the kitchen table or on the couch for a really long time, and then I get up and my back's a little achy. But even though sitting can be relieving for some of our weight-bearing joints, such as our ankles and knees, but after we've been on our feet all day, sitting can put a lot of stress on our lumbar spine, or what's also known as our lower back. Sitting can add a tremendous amount of pressure onto the back, into the back muscles, the spinal discs. In addition, slouch sitting like I'm doing now can overstretch the spinal ligaments and strain the spinal discs. You may have even noticed at home, if you're sitting for a while and you have an achy lower back towards the end of the day, or just feeling like you can't really get into a comfortable position no matter how hard you try. This may be a result of a couple things. One is how long you've been sitting, and two, how you're sitting, the quality of sitting. So on that note, what I want to go over with you is six ways that you can sit in a better position while working from home. So what we'll do, I have my assistant here, Eric, who's going to show us. He's going to be sitting down, and I'm going to be pointing out a couple things as he's sitting that we can all look at. So the first thing we want to check out, if you guys have a desk chair, is the elbow. So if he's going to be sitting at a desk, we want to make sure that his elbows are in line with the plane of the table. So this chair that he's sitting on is a little too low for him for this table. So we would want to raise him up so that way his elbows are kind of resting right on the table there. If you don't have a desk chair at home and it can't be adjusted up or down, what you could do is you could add some pillows underneath your butt, and that kind of raises you up to the level of the desk. A second thing is we want to look at the thigh. The trick is we want to be able to easily fit our fingers underneath our thigh. So Eric, can you slip your fingers underneath your thigh? Good. Pretty easy to slip underneath. That means it's good pressure under there. Not too much, but not too little. You don't want your knees all the way up here, so that way it's just an open space, but you don't want your legs hanging off of the chair, so that way there's a lot of pressure in the back of your thigh. So just be conscious of that as well. Another thing you do is, the third thing is the depth of the chair, or how deep the chair is right here. So as long as you can fit a full fist between the back of your calf and the front of the chair, that's a good chair. We don't want one that's too deep, because that way if you have kind of shorter thighs here, that end of the chair can kind of dig into the back of the knee, which is not good. The fourth thing is, probably the most important, is the lumbar support. You always hear about chairs with lumbar support. So every chair is going to be a little different, but if you have a nice desk chair, usually they have some adjustments on the side here that you can customize the curvature. But basically you want that space that's filled in your back, in the small of your back, how it kind of curves in a little bit. You want to fill that space up. So a lot of desk chairs do that. You can see in this chair how it kind of curves like that. That kind of fills in that space. If you don't have a desk chair and you have just kind of a flat back, you can roll up some towels and put them in the back there, and that way that kind of fills up that lumbar space and gives you some lumbar support. If you're working at a computer, you want to make sure that the top of the computer is at your eye level. So if you're sitting up nice and tall and your head and you're looking forward and you see the computer, the top of the computer, that's about where you should have it. You shouldn't have the top of the laptop or monitor below eye level. So right here would be too low. If he's working on the laptop right here and he's looking down right here, the laptop may only come up to here. You want it higher. You want it eye level. Okay. And the last thing is, if your chair has armrests, you want your armrests to be relax below you. So for him, he wants to be able to rest his arm and give his shoulder a little bit of support, so it kind of comes up just a little bit, but not too much. So right here, that's a good position for Eric. And those are the 6 things that we want to go over with you with the desk chair. But like I said, I mean, a lot of people don't really have chairs at home, desk chairs at home. So you can use those strategies of like rolling up a towel, putting it behind your back to help you get that lumbar support, putting pillows underneath your bottom to raise you up to the level of the desk. Those are all great ways to kind of modify it. So we just went over how to sit, or good ways to sit, but overarching all of this is sitting is not so great for you in prolonged areas. It doesn't matter if you have like the most ergonomic, adherent chair in the world, or if you're resting on the couch just watching TV and it's a super comfortable lazy boy. If you sit in one position for a long time, particularly more than 30 minutes, it's not good for you. It's not good for your back. The best thing that you can do is the phrase that I like to use is the best position is the next position. The best position is the next position, meaning that what's going to relieve your back is not sitting in a better way, but after about 30 minutes, getting up and moving and working on. Earlier in the week, Dre, our athletic trainer, went over some exercises, a workout that you guys can do. I have a few exercises for you that you can do in the time that you're resting your back after sitting for 30 minutes. So 3 exercises. The first one is really easy. You can do them sitting down or standing up, preferably standing up. Is just grabbing your fingers, interlacing them, reaching forward, and reaching forward with that, doing 3 to 5 reps of that. The next one is bringing your hands behind your back and just kind of extending, opening up your shoulders and back, doing that 3 to 5 times. And then the last one is just real basic lumbar rotation, just rotating your chest and twisting your back really gently 3 to 5 times. So the recommendation for me is to get up every 30 minutes. Get up every 30 minutes, and it only has to be for 1 to 2 minutes. The reason why we want you to do it after 30 minutes is that allows our body to rehydrate our discs and fill them up with fluid again, and to relieve some of the stress and strain on the ligaments and muscles around the spine. So the 2 biggest takeaways today are, 1, pay attention to how you're sitting. So going back to all those ergonomic things that we talked about earlier. And the second thing is making sure that you get up every 30 minutes and do something. Walk around for a minute. Do those basic stretches for a minute. Just do something. Change your position. The best position is the next position. So on that note, that concludes our ergonomic video. There's a couple, one shout out that I want to give. I put the links at the bottom of all the stuff that we went over today, including a video of the exercises, all the ergonomic things that we went over today. Those are all linked down below. And I also want to give a shout out to the National Hemophilia Federation. They have a town hall webinar tomorrow that you need to register for. If you're interested, it's called Staying Active, Coping with COVID-19. It's put on by a couple of physical therapists, really, really great physical therapists. One out of Minnesota, her name's Kim Bauman, and Laura Joyner out of East Carolina. So check it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment at the bottom of the video or find us on the Hemophilia UCSD page. And thanks, everyone. Stay safe.